kicking off in about 15 minutes time. So just a reminder to those ladies for your first event, please report, and the second event, 800 meters, please report to the call room if you have not already done so. Welcome everyone. We're looking forward to another fantastic night of athletics at the Greenpoint Stadium. Conditions aren't perfect, but they are near perfect. It's clear, there's a light breeze, and it is nice and cool. So we are looking forward to once again seeing some very fast times. On Monday evening, we saw a huge PB from a young man called Anthony Timiosis in the 3,000 meters, running 7:59.19, which was an incredible race and something really special to watch. That really got things on the go, and it wasn't long after that we saw a young man, Ryan Mpahlele, who is a gentleman from Tembisa up in Gauteng, and he's a seasoned veteran. He's a South African cross-country 4K champion in 2021, and he came and set the track alight with a magnificent run at 3:38.46, which was a PB for him, and 3.46 seconds off qualification for the World Champs. So we were really blessed to see both those performances. And then, of course, we saw a wonderful performance once again from Karina Fullen, who ran beautifully on the 4th of January and then bettered her performance in terms of World Athletics points with a 4:20 1500 meter. A really super run from her. And of course, peppered in between all of that were some great performances. Once again, special mention goes to Bruce Lynn-Damons and Kyla Jacobs, who ran fantastic runs as well. And it's no surprise that those five are all sitting in our top 5 on the leaderboard. Just a reminder that we are giving away 12,500 Rand tonight for the winner of the overall winner of the Grand Prix. And we have a young man here this evening by the name of Ashley Smith, and he, along with Bruce Lynn-Damons, are going to be tackling the 5,000 meter, and I think that's going to be our event for the evening. So stick around for that. That should be fantastic. And I'm pretty sure that Ashley's got his heart set on getting into that leaderboard, and very high up on it indeed. So we have around 10-12 minutes before we kick off. Once again, ladies, if you have not reported to the call room, which is on the 100-meter finish line towards the back area there, please do so immediately and get your numbers ticked off and get warmed up. Then I just want to, I'm going to be calling out a few people. Is around Zoe. Please come and pop across to the track here. Star, I'm standing with Francois in the middle. Andre Africa, if you are here as well, if you can come across to the middle. If not, you may be warming up. If Leandra Polman is around, Leandra, if you're here, please come across to me on the other side of the track here. Rovaldo Cornelius, if you are around, please come across to this side of the track.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here. It is event 3 of 3 in the series, the Cape Milers Middle Distance Invitational. And my name is Randall Chris. I'll be joined upstairs by Coach Chris Prix in the commentary box. But down here, we actually want to just have a quick chat with one of the idea men behind this, a dream miler himself, Mr. Francois. Could you maybe just give us a quick overview of what sparked the idea for this event?
Yeah, I think we desperately needed some events where we could have high quality races, where we could have races that were well organized, that were fun for our athletes to compete in, and that was mainly focused on middle distance running. You know, we have a rich history of great middle distance running, and I think over the last few years we've sort of lost that, particularly in the Western Province, and so we thought we'd start the Cape Milers, very similar to the British Milers Club, with a main focus of really just trying to raise the quality of middle distance running in South Africa and Cape Town. So that was the main objective, and then obviously for the guys to have fun, you know, and to have some good incentives, and I think we've achieved that. Yeah.
Something that I've noticed is there's a fantastic mix of both high school, junior, as well as senior club athletes, and a large contingent of your high school athletes here. What's the secret, do you think, and what has been your secret in getting these juniors out to these big events and competing so ferociously?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. You know, on Monday night we had about 132 entries, of which 55 were senior athletes and the rest were high schoolers or junior athletes. We need to have continuity. That's a bit of a problem, I think, as a province, particularly with female athletics. We've got a bit of an issue around that. I don't think we have enough females in the sport. So hopefully sports like tonight and opportunities like tonight in the series will spark that opportunity for the youngsters to continue with running and see there is some merit and credit in that. I don't know, I think we're lucky. I think it's a great opener for the athletes to get involved. You know, we've had some good coaches involved with us who're sending the athletes down and see the value of this. You know, there's a good early start to see how you know, what sort of winter work you've done. It's not always a school event. School athletes love running under lights. It's one of the favorite times when I was an athlete. You want to run under lights. You know, you've been streaming, your auntie and your oma and your uncle can watch it. So it's nice. I think it's lekker. It's lekker gees. We want to build some gees. And I think that's been the secret, I think. You know, we want to grow it from there. You know, we want to grow. We're 130 tonight. In a year, we want to be 330. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Looking at the performances of the last two events, particularly the last event where it seemed as if the track was just set alight by a few key performances by Karina, by Anthony, and then also by King Ryan. What do you think will be the big things to stand out tonight, as we see a little bit of a breeze coming through, but it's still quite calm?
Yeah, I think Monday was, like the English would say, it was a bit of a balmy evening. It was nice and warm, there was no wind, it was ideal conditions, and I think the pacers did a fantastic job. They went out and they worked hard for the athletes, and they wanted to perform well. You had the sense that the guys wanted to run fast, and they tried their absolute best. So I think tonight there's a bit of a breeze, but I think there's an appetite to run well. This breeze is okay, it's not too bad, but if it gets any worse through the evening, we might see that. But I'm confident. I know that Ryan, speaking to him earlier today, he really wants to go quicker than 3:38 if the weather allows. The paces are ready for him. We've got 3 good paces in the race to help him. The guys in the 5K want to go close to 13:45 as they can as an opener. So let's see. And Karina's going to enjoy herself in the 800 tonight, she was saying. So let's see.
One of the comments that came from one of the viewers at home was that he'd never seen speed and a change of speed like he had seen in both the 1500 and the 3000 meters on Wednesday night. On Monday night. What do you think will be the big thing here? Will it be smarter racing, or do you think it will just be going all out from the start and trusting the paces?
Yeah, I think you've got to go out and trust the paces. You know, so they want to get 3:36, 3:37 tonight. So it's a second quicker. They will go with the paces. I think these guys they're well conditioned. They worked hard in the winter. They spend a lot of time in the gym. They spend a lot of time on the road. Good speed work. Remember, this is only the start of their season. You know, for them to be running that quick already now, it's really exciting to see what they could do. They've had they've hard racing on Monday, a day rest, and part of having because people ask me, you know, why have you guys had the event so close? Well, the idea is for these guys, you know, we want to help them prep for World Champs or for Commonwealth Games. You know, you're going to have a heat, you'll have a day rest, you'll have a semi or a final. So this is to see how they can bounce back after that. But the appetite's good. They want to run fast, and you know, and you get that energy, you know. But we always know that sometimes after a good night, sometimes the energy can be a bit flat. but it's down to the athletes tonight. You know, we've set it up as well as we possibly can. We've got everyone to help them do it, and we're confident that they can get out and do it.
Okay, we have a few minutes before the start. Any plans for the rest of the year in terms of events? Do you have anything planned right now?
Sleep. I want to sleep. It's hard graft this. No, but it's worth it. Yeah, no, we will probably have one in April and in May. What we're going to do is, I know EnduroCAD are doing something in March, and I'm going to meet with Ilana at some point, and we're going to see what we can maybe sort of amalgamate the two meets. And so the athletes that do come down from Gauteng, that they can stay down, not just for one event. It's expensive to come down for these guys, but maybe we can sort of wedge something in between. You know, we need to work in collaboration. We both have two good brands. We're not in competition with each other. We're here for the athletes. And so if we can work together in collaboration, I think that's another thing that we need in South African athletics. And then, you know, we can take it forward. You know, Ilana, we learned a lot from their events. And that's our next thing. Next 2 more races in our next series. And then we want to do a cross-country thing later in the year, in the winter month. And then maybe something on the roads, like a road relay or something.
Thank you so much, Mr. van Reemse. Good luck with the rest of the evening, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your hard work. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gents, we'll be going upstairs in a moment, and we'll see you over there now.
We're about to kick off with the first event. It's 7:56. We've still got a couple of minutes before we set off, and we've got a good field of K-Way VAB runners in tonight's race, along with the Fairmont girls, and they're going to be looking to improve on their performances on Monday night. Just before we kick off, you will notice that we have some barriers. Those of you that were here on Monday night will know the drill. But basically, we're inviting you down onto the track. There's a lovely opportunity for you to take your own photographs close up, but also to cheer your athletes on. So, spectators in the stand, you are most welcome to come down trackside and give your goals.
Ladies and gents, we are live, we are back, we are upstairs.
Good evening, yeah, it's lovely to be here. I can't believe it was just 2 nights ago we were here, and we were talking about the overall point scores, and my goodness, I see now that Bruce Van Damons is also in the 3rd place, and we'd actually not thought about him getting to the top 3, but Ryan King Ryan right up there, Timmy in second place, and Brewston Dams in third place. So Karina Flewn's got a bit of work to do this evening if she wants to steal a march in those three. So while we're getting ready for the first 800 meters, the junior race, a number of the girls ran on Monday evening as well. Let's see how they go this evening. With every race, I'm sure they'll be improving.
Yeah, no, this top 10 is on fire, especially if we look at the top 3 men and the top 3 ladies right now. I mean, the battle between Karina Taylor and Sean will probably be one that goes down as one of the big ones of the year. King Ryan still on top with that fantastic performance. It looked like he just found another gear in those last 2 laps. But I think looking forward to
girls, a wonderful opportunity to go.
Van Lendler just mentioned now, the majority of the infants are juniors and they've been showing up week after week or event after event. What do you think will be the big prediction as we go into the first 800?
Well, on Monday, the women's 800 meter, the first event, which is about to go off now, just under starters orders, and while they get away, the winning time was 2 minutes 22 by Charlotte Boer. And if I look at the list here, I don't see on the list this evening, but I see Tyler Hunt from Bellville Village Club, who finished second in 2 minutes 24 with a point score of 768. He's in the race, so I imagine that she'll be up there in the top 3 this evening as well.
Yeah, well, definitely, as we watch them go out, and they've just about finished on that backstretch, so the first 200-ish meters nearly done. And as we see it right now, we have one of the ladies out in front
going through in around 39 seconds through.
Randall, I must say, they went out at a very sensible pace. They went out at 35 seconds, so they'll probably come to in around 71, which means that they'll be on track for 222, 220. 224, and last week, so Monday's winning time was 222 with Tyler Hunt running 224. So this is a very sensible place. I think that's Hunt in the second place, moving up on the outside as they go through the bell now. And the lady from Fairmont is either Camilla Bech or Clara Roberts. Oh, Isabella Canera, I see. Excellent.
Right, things are starting to hot up. They'll be back on single file.
Second place.
And Zoe McHardy, who was up here earlier on, collecting a shirt for her performance, getting over 750 points in her last run, is looking really, really good and just sitting in front of the first athlete
So
there.
I see Tyler Hunt is in the race and she was second last time. Could that perhaps be her in front, or do you think that's the girl from the Stellenbosch dog squad, Lana Nell? Do you think that's athlete number 141 in the lead?
Number 141 from the dog squad.
Okay, that's Johan Foury's group, and Marinda Foury's group, based out of Stellenbosch, at Stellenbosch High School. And what's that number of the girl coming through now? Is that from Fairmont? Isabella Canera. Okay, lovely. She didn't run on Monday evening, so showing her form tonight.
She's just decided that this will be her race. She led the first lap, decided she's not going to sit back and look at that performance, finishing strong in what looks like a 226.
Fantastic. Well, it's interesting. Monday's conditions were probably near perfect for any event in the world, and tonight you got a slight wind. Not that it's going to bother the athletes too much, but it's nice and cool, and we got off to a nice first race.
Yeah, we were having a chat just now about the wind, and it seemed like it had started to die down. The N1 was a little bit wild with that crazy crosswind that seemed like it was about to flip my mommy van over, but it was a calm-ish entry into Greenpoint. And as we look over at the flags right now, it looks like they're completely...
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a wind out there, and while we're going on to just before 8:05, I promised I would say goodnight to my 8-year-old Emma. If you're watching, you should be in bed and sleeping by now. But good night, I'll see you in the morning.
As we're going to final 2 of 2 for the ladies 800 meter. This is the senior ladies race, and we see we have a mix here of some of the strong runners.
Charlotte Boer, we were talking about earlier. She's in this race. And we also have one of our strong seniors, Kobe Griffiths, who's
Yes.
second in a race on the weekend, or on Monday, probably.
So yes, on Monday evening, the winning time by Minka was 2:14, with Kirby second place in 2:16, and Megan Scholz was third. Megan's not on the start list this evening, but I've seen that Charlotte Boer, that in fact won the B race last week, has been seeded into the A race. So that's very, very clever. So she ran 2:22 on Monday, and we didn't see her in the first race, but I see she's listed in the final. Well, final number 2. So let's see, maybe she goes under 2:20 and improve her time of Monday by maybe 2 seconds, because she's in a really strong race this evening.
We also have the super athletes, Karina Viljoen as well as Minka Viljoen. I believe Minka was pacer in the last two wins. So this is going to be a battle of note.
Well, it's going to be interesting because Karina needs to run really fast. She's a fast runner with personal bests that can definitely propel her up to the into the top 3, if not to the very top of the overall series points. So for her to do that, I think she'll probably have to run closer to 12. That's a bit of a guesstimate, but I think that is what she will probably need to get her up. She's in 4th at the moment, was leading after the first series, which was a few weeks ago, and after Monday evening has now dropped to 4th place after those lovely performances by Ryan, Anthony and Brewston Damons. Starters orders?
Yeah, just for the viewers at home, despite Karina being 4th, if you've seen her performances, you've seen her actually go out and stomp the field, and as we say this, the battle goes out front with the Viljoens, with Minka and Karina deciding they will take out and lead, and as we say that, Karina just decides let's find another gear, and good luck to everyone else.
Well, I must say I'm watching that race, and I like the way that Kirby's running this evening. She hasn't gone out with the first 2, which I think is going to pay dividends towards the end of the race, because they went through in about 30 to 31 seconds, and she came through in 32 to 33, which I think is a much more controlled race. One never knows how the athletes are feeling this evening, and who's feeling like they got racing in their legs. But pacing in the 800 meter is critical, and my goodness, Karina has gone out fast. This is an attempt to go below 210. I think she's going to come through in 62, 63, 64. I think she'll get very close to 210 at this pace.
Yeah, it's some serious passages going on. And interesting that you mentioned Kobe's strategic prowess, because that's exactly what she did in the last race. She didn't go out to the leaders, sat back and took second place, I believe, comfortably.
Well, clearly Karina is in a class of her own, and she's now picking up the pace. I see the gap in the second position closing ever so slightly. I'm not sure if it's going to close all the way, but with 200 meters to go, the time now 1:35. So if Karina can run a 35 seconds last 200 meters, she's going to go under 210, which I think is going to take her very close to somewhere in the top 3. I don't have the points table in front of me, but this is a very gutsy run this evening.
And as we look at it, Karina Viljoen stomping the field yet again, but have a glance back at second and third as we see Kobe Griffiths trying her best to catch up, but this will be Minka's second place. But Karina, what a performance.
Well, there you go. I said 210. They came in just under 210, I think, or maybe just on 210. So that was a lovely performance by her, and she went out hard. I mean, she took it out on her own, and she made it her race this evening. No pacing, just a solid time trial, a lovely run. I think it might just get under 210. I hope so. But 210, a lovely first 800 meter by her, I think, for her season.
Fantastic start to the evening, and the third event of the series, the series of 3. And as we say that, we start to step in to see the boys as they line up. There will be 3 800s this evening, with a neat balance again of seniors and juniors. always exciting to see the juniors step up and compete, go toe to toe with some of the. I'm always careful. I don't want to say older, but more experienced.
More experience is the right word. Well, it's lovely to see that the winner of race number 1 on Monday evening, Bebe Siva, who raced a 201, has now been seeded in the second race. So that's I must commend the organizers. They are looking at matching athletes up with like for like, so that they can gain experience and feed of each other's pacing. So yeah, we got Garrett, Damien, Dumelo, Keen, Cyphers, Reese Quinn, Barnes, Polman, Sali, Sednert and Cupido in this race.
Yeah, this will be quite an interesting one. We've seen the performances of Leandre Polman and his general pace while he's out there. And the Langebaan Strandlopers have sent out another fine contingent this evening.
I'm just having a look who in this lineup competed on Monday. Let's see.
We'll relay the information to viewers at home. If you are joining us live on YouTube or even on the SuperSport app, welcome. If you're in the stands and you're joining us, you may wave at us up here in the glass box. We'll wave back from the fishbowl, and off they go.
That youngster's gone out at a cracking pace, full of confidence over the first 70 to 80 meters. Now hitting the 1,500 mark in 15 seconds. So he's gone out at a pace that will take him through to a 2-minute 800 meters or thereabout. I would imagine the second lap's a little bit slower. They picked up now 29:30 through 200 meters, so let's hope they go close to 2 minutes, which was in fact was the winning time last week in the first or Monday in the first race. It was a 2:01, and it looks like these boys are out to go close to 2 minutes this evening.
Yeah, it's Damien Brits from Tigerberg who decided that he would lead out, and not even 50 to 100 meters in, we've had a little bit of a change as Alec Barnes decided, apologies, not Alec Barnes, it's Leandre Polman decided he wants to show up yet again. It's going to be a tight battle on this last lap as we start to see Leandre extend his lead, or attempt to extend his lead, but second and third, or third and fourth are chasing hard, and they're looking to make up that little bit of a gap there.
Well, he's still on track for 2 minutes. If he can hold it together now with 220 meters to go. So we'll get his time at the 200 meter mark. You'll see one of the coaches reading the times there. He went in 1:31. So he's slightly off, but seems to accelerate now tremendously. Look at the gap open up now. This guy's going to go under 2 minutes. I can tell you now, he's picked it up tremendously. This is going to be 1:58, 1:59. That was a lovely burst of acceleration. Who's this youngster?
That'll be Leandre Polman, and he's decided that this will be his race, and he just picks up and sub 2 minutes.
Well, fantastic,
for junior. And look at Leighton Cyphers coming in there in second. Big change of pace there, and we will confirm in a moment who that was from VOB.
Well, that was a very, very well judged race. You know, he wasn't in the front to start. He held back a little bit and came through in just under 60 seconds. Went through the 600 meters in 1:31, and then blitzed at 27 seconds last 200 meters. So there's definitely room for improvement there. I think if this guy, as he improves his pacing abilities and gets more experience, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up running around 1:55, 1:56 later in the season. So whoever his coach is, well done, great work.
Yeah, it's quite a. If we just look at the way that they started with Damien Brits leading out, Leandre Polman sitting back, and then 200 meters deciding this will be his race, and then in second and third we had Leighton Cyphers and Garrett Hacking, who also decided to just change it up and take their spots on the podium, and that's also including the the 750 Rand and 1,500 Rand for their race. And as we look through to the comments, Ross Holland, hi sir, apologies if you couldn't hear us. We are here with you right now. Hopefully we are coming through loud and clear. Franco Makasa, hi sir, hello. And Matthew Russell, thanks Chris and Chris for great commentary, and ES Media for world class coverage. Thanks for the well wishes there, Mr. Russell. And if you'd be so kind as to share this link to all your friends and family, athletes or non-athletes, let's get some eyes on this event.
So next up is at event number 4, which is final number 2. So we've got 800 meters left after this, and the youngster that won the first race on Monday evening, Beba Siva, finished in 2:01, and this field has the finishing ability of also under 2 minutes. And if Beba Siva, is that him from Nedbank? No, he's Varsity Old Boys. Yes, so he must. Okay, it'll be interesting if you can judge his pace well. I think he might go under 2 minutes this evening.
I think the highlight for me of the last event was the paces leading him out and deciding to stay with him and guide him through to that win. As they go off, it's another quick start as we see, I believe.
Looks like somebody that's pacing him there because he keeps looking behind him.
Yeah, that's Christian van Dokheim. From Durkheim, apologies. Christian van Durkheim leading out there.
I see, yes, he is the pacer, correct. That's what's on the sheet, yeah. And let's have a look. He goes to in 28 seconds, so maybe that's what they wanted, but that means they're going to come through not in 56 necessarily, but I reckon they'll come through in 57, 58. And that'll settle down the pace, and if they can keep that up, I think we might well see another sub 2 for the juniors.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a battle between Sive, between himself, Keenan Lush, and Ruben Smith, as we see the Sive and Keenan leading out there as Christian just dips out.
Well, he went through, just 57, 58. And then, Lucian Keenan, or Keenan Lush, sorry, taking it out now. And would that be Beba Siva with him?
Yes, that is. And as we say that, we have a little bit of a change there coming up behind him. That would be Dylan Stevenson, who's decided he's going to challenge for the front. Could he pass?
Well, he certainly had the better of them in relative terms from a pacing point of view, because it looks like Beba Siva, who came through in 57 and has only got a PB of 2:01. I think he might have gone out too fast, but he'll learn from this. And then look at him, the guy that paced himself better is coming through now. Is that Dylan Stevenson?
I believe that is Dylan Stevenson that's taken up front. And then look at second place. If we look back there, we have Charles Thomas. Charles Thomas, who's putting in absolute maximum effort. Can he get there? Can he pass? Can he get? Just about missed it, but what a performance there. 2 minutes on the dot.
And now you'll see for the viewers lying on the ground there, the young Beba Siva, who ran 2 minutes and 1 second, and obviously was really excited. And he will learn from this race. He went through in 57 seconds, which would normally be the pace for a runner who's looking to run 156, 157. So I think a bit of maybe too much to chew, but certainly would have gained invaluable experience. And let's hope next time the pace is a little bit more sensible for him specifically. But I keep mentioning this because I think this is where the biggest gains can be made for all the athletes, is to be able to be well briefed by your coach as to what the ideal pacing should be for you to get the best out of your race for the evening. And it's early season, so they'll be picking up experience as they go.
As we look over there, it looks like Siva's having a little bit of trouble getting up. Hope he's okay. 800 is definitely one of the scariest paced races to enter, because it's flat out from start to finish. And medical staff are attending to him now, so congrats Dylan Stevenson, and hoping for the best there. Fransha Makasa joining us all the way from Oudtshoorn. And Fransha, hopefully it's not too hot out there. We will hopefully see you next year for Kango Marathon. And here we go back to the seniors. This will be the high speed race with Keegan van der Merwe in pacing duties this, today again from Iteko, is our dancing man on the outside.
Yes, I see him, and is Faro there? He's on the start list. Have you seen him?
I believe he is.
Is he
there.
second from the inside?
Yeah, I believe that's him.
Yeah.
Second from the from the outside. It's just
Okay.
we will confirm in a moment for everyone.
So on Monday the winning time was 1:54. So if they want to improve on that, that's roughly 57 seconds a lap. But with the 800 meters, you want to go through about 2 seconds faster the first lap on average. That's just theoretical. You get athletes that approach it differently. So I imagine the coaches might be saying, well, let's try and come through in 55 seconds. Let's see what transpires the evening under starters orders.
I see Ingrid Alexander's back from Paul saying go Gawain Jacobs. We are expecting some fire out there, and as we look up we see Mr. Hot Stuff, Mr. Hot Feet, Keegan van der Merwe leading out there with high pace, high speed, with Duran Faro just behind him. And in third place we have Mr. Henk Beekes from Nedbank, and he's decided he will tow up as close as possible to the pacer.
So that was just on 27 seconds. You recall I suggested they should come through in 55. I don't coach any of these runners, so I'm not sure what kind of shape they might be in or how much they've rested. But pace has definitely slowed down a bit now. I wonder what happened now.
And as we say that we have a bit of a change, as we see, I believe that's Zaid Williams stepping up.
55, 56. Okay, so just on 56 seconds. That means they can still get to 154. The pace is still hanging in there. He hung back a little bit and waited for them. He'll probably peel off at the 1500 meter mark, which he does, and leaves the runners 300 meters to go. Is that Zaid Williams up front?
That I believe is Zaid Williams.
Yeah.
You are correct. And in second place we have Mr. Gawain Jantjes from Paul AC.
Well, Zaid is one of the loveliest gentlemen you can meet. He actually is a student teacher at the primary school which I live next to, and where my daughter goes. So I see him every morning, and he's just a lovely guy with lots of talent, and coached by Coach Ernie out in Stellenbosch, an aspirant teacher, and he seems to be holding on at the moment.
Look at this change, the battle up front, as we see Duran Faro with Mr. Dylan Rudolph deciding that he wants to take this one, and he takes it right on the line. 154, and it just seems like everyone just throwing everything out there this evening. That's the second athlete going down at the end of their race.
Well, and if I can make an observation, that was a well-judged race. The pacer went out slightly ahead of schedule, maybe, and that's why when he came through, the runners were slightly behind him, and then he held back a little bit and took them through to the 500 meter mark on the other side of the field with 300 meters to go, and that worked out just perfectly from a pacing point of view. I don't think any of these runners would have run much faster if they had gone out harder. Everybody finished relatively strong, and we had around about a 154 there, so that was lovely to watch. That was a lot of experience, and you can see that the first few events are now paying off, and the athletes are starting to find the measure of how to go about their races.
I mean, what is that performance by Dylan Rudolph, the junior from VOB, coming through right at the end and claiming that one? That's something to write home about. That's an Instagram story for the rest of this week.
Now, I wonder what they're going to do with the next race, because we have a 5,000 meters starting at 8:30 with only one lady in the event, and I wonder whether they'll just put those two races together.
We'll be interesting. I think it could be something worth doing, but we'll wait and see. As we look across the field, we do see Anel in the distance. Looks like she's having a quick chat with Starsha Mano out there.
Yeah, I think it would make absolute sense. Well, in fact, if you have a look at the start sheets, they are running together. The start's 8:30 and 8:30. That's very sensible, because running on her own wouldn't been pleasant at all. So she's part of that. And then yes, on Monday, the organisers said that Ashley Smith, Blocky has her name, running for a club called Skinny Boy Athletics. Where are they based? Is that a club?
I believe that is a club. That is one of the new up and coming clubs. And we've seen this growth of these pro teams and pro clubs, like we mentioned last week about Team Boss that Dominic Scott the Effort runs for, along with Aisha Protlia and Emma Coburn. We've seen the excuse me, that would be one of the other junior clubs or professional clubs that's come out now. Roots Running Project with
haven't heard of them.
Where Sydney Guragubay has joined. Also ran a fantastic, I think he placed 8th or 12th in the last week. And you know, these junior clubs, I think it allows them to become more focused. Also allows for more up and coming coaches to potentially find their feet, I believe.
Do you know where they are based, Skinny Boys?
That'll be an interesting question. I think we could ask the viewers at home.
Yeah.
Maybe I can ask Matthew Rousseau. I see you still in the comments there. Can you just shout us a comment on where they are based? I see Ingrid Alexander still shouting a congrats to Gawain. Gawain Giant, she's great running, Gawain. Definitely Paul AC should be proud of his performance. That was a fantastic run out there. And as we look at the top 10 once again, you see King Ryan still at the top. King Ryan, Anthony Timotheus and Brucelyn Damons leading out the top 3, with Karina, Kyla and Sean leading the ladies. But we do also have Roaldo Rats and Elta Blanche is going to be running the 5,000 right now and mixing it up with the boys. Dion Hendricks, Yandiso Shange and Andre Africa. Looks like we'll be starting in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
So, from Monday's event, the 3,000 meters, Anthony Timotheus, who's currently second on the log with his sub 8 minutes, he ran 7:59. He's not in the race this evening, so I can imagine that he will be feeling the effects of Monday's hard run. So, sensible decision. But I see that we have a couple of the other runners that ran on Monday: Raiden Barley, Sibs Madikazela running, Starsha Mano running, Andre Africa running, Roaldo Rats running. So who knows, maybe some of them used Monday as a little bit of a build up for this evening and maybe didn't go as hard as the others. But Roaldo Rats and Thomas Struis are going to be pacers, so that makes sense. Thanks for pointing that out, Randall. So Roaldo definitely won't want to run that, and then Andre Africa a pacer, and Unati and Teta also pacer, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we've got a good mix of athletes here. We still have Bruce Lynn in here. We have Nicholas D, two of the Bruce Lynn running for Nedbank. We also have JJ van der Merwe, also had a great performance on Monday. But I think athletes that we are looking forward to this evening will definitely be the big names we had mentioned before.
So I understand that they're looking to run low 14 minutes. Do you have a handle on what the goal is?
I believe it is, if I remember correctly, Mr. Van Rensburg did mention that they may be going out for sub 14. It should be a good start for the year.
Well, sub 14 means that they've got to run at 64 seconds a lap, I think, and that's more or less the pace that Timmy ran on Monday in the 3,000 meters, and you've got to extend that further. Now, Blocky is well capable, and we know Timmy has run under 14 minutes as well. So I reckon the key thing this evening will be the pacing. There doesn't seem to be much wind out there. The flag's waving a little bit in the background, but nothing too serious. So I think with 4 paces in the race, if they get this going and set it up the first 2 kilometers, we might have a fast time. Let's hope we get low 14, and a sub 14 would be fantastic this evening.
I see Matthew saying that as far as he knows, Skinny Boy AC is only Ashley Smith. Thanks for that. That little bit of information there. Yeah, looking over, it's quite weird. We only ever seem to have 3 out of 6 flags waving. Right now it's 1 out of 6. So it may just be that the wind dies down for this event. It would be fantastic if it does.
Well, certainly the temperature is absolutely perfect. We remarked on Monday that the half marathon was run in Houston, Texas, where the first 10 women ran personal bests. We saw the American record. We saw Dominic Scott Edford running the second fastest time in history by a South African of the half marathon, and the temperature was 8 degrees. So I think it must be around about 18 now. When I drove here coming in the car, it was 21. I don't know if you saw the temperature, but definitely cooler than Monday, which is good for the 5,000 meters.
As we look at the start, we see Dr. Anelta Blanche lining up there with the boys, and happy smile from Robert Davidson on the end, always happy and smiling from VLB. And Stasha Amano in those brand new sponsored shades. I guess it's always sunny when your performances are improving like his has over the past year. So we're just waiting for the gun. A little bit of a technical error.
Well, it's a new year, and new license numbers will be coming out probably in February, and we've seen a number of athletes change clubs. So obviously athletes are looking for where they can get the most support. So I see Stasha Amano has gone from Nedbank last year, am I correct, to Atlantic Athletics Club. We've seen Ashley's moved, Sibs has moved. Well, I think Sibs was with Atlantic last year, I'm not exactly sure. And so athletes have to find a home for themselves where they can possibly get the most support, which is completely understandable. In the end, yes, clubs are competitive, but the athletes always are first.
And as we look up, we see Andre Africa leading the charge here with Rivaldo Rats right behind him, and Bruce Lynn just sitting back in 3rd place, or technically in 1st place, as beat 2 paces out there.
Well, this is fantastic because you cannot ask for a better attempt at a fast time. So we see Blocky in 4th, is that correct? And then the other guys are all hanging in there, probably going out a little bit too fast. But this is the perfect way to set up a race. So well done to the organizers. Blocky closing the gap up there, probably nudging them along. Let's see how they go through the first 400 meters. That'll also give us an indication of what they are trying to achieve this evening.
Yeah, that looks like Jean Mouton, who's also just hanging on in there, staying as close as possible. If you look back to the second bus, I believe that's Raiden Bali leading out that second bus.
Yes, and Raiden, also a very experienced runner for many years, helped Nolene in many races. When she ran the Cape Town Marathon, he was assigned as a pacer for her by the organizers. I remember her running, I think, 2:35, 2:33. And so pacing is absolutely critical, and they went through in 65 seconds, so that's going to be low 14 minutes, which is looking very promising. To have 3 pacers in front of you that are capable of taking it even up to 3 kilometers, even maybe up to 4 kilometers, will really set him up for a good race. It doesn't get better than this, Randall.
No, not at all. And as we were watching, it looks like Mr. Blocky Smith just tapped the board on the inside twice as he came around the corner, but finding his feet now. I've watched him battle Bruce Lynn out in the streets of Bahrain, so we know what's coming in this one.
Well, he's a steeplechaser as well, so he knows how to handle any obstacles. I'm sure he found his balance very quickly. I remember running in the Duracad event in March. He ran the sub 4-minute mile last March, and really showed a great turn of speed. A lovely athlete, a lovely person, and let's really hold thumbs that the Pacers keep it up and take him all the way as far as possible.
As we glance back there, we look at the junior Robert Davidson as well as Dr. Anel. I'll just have a glance over to see who that is back there. I believe that's one of the pacers. So looks like we do have a pacer for Anel de Blanche. So she will be chasing a time as well. But looking at that battle out in front, with the two paces leading out being Andre Africa and, if I just have a quick glance,
Was it Raiden Bali?
I believe Raiden Bali
Is not there. Okay.
Rowaldo will also be the other pacer, so I think it's the two of them, and Raiden Bali is in the second bus. So that group of 5 will be coming through the back.
Okay, the pace has dropped to around about from 65 to 66, going on 67. They're probably just settling into around about 66 seconds at the moment. 72 minutes is the pace you need to run for 15 minutes. So if you're running 66, that's 6 seconds a lap. If you times that by 13 and a half, that gets you very close to 14 minutes. So let's see how they go.
And we've got a lot of support coming through here in the chat again. So John David shouting COG. Christine Lachia, apologies if I got that wrong. Saying go Anel with the dab. Van Kukamoon saying 67 a lap with 248 kilometers gives you 14 minutes. Thank you there, Werner. So
thanks, Werner. That's excellent. Yeah, 67. That's great. So I think they've averaged out at 67 at the moment. 421, in fact, would have been 67. So just 2 seconds off the 67 mark. But you can see a little bit of movement up front. Then I think Lockie's gone into the second place. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's gone into second. Looks like he wants to chase Andre Africa to push the pace a little bit more.
He probably saw that they were just 1 or 2 seconds off, depending on how he wants this pace to keep going. But he also wants the other paces to come past the gang and maybe help again, because who's the chap up front?
That'll be Andre Africa with
yes.
pacer with.
Yes. So Andre probably is going to take them to the 200-meter mark and probably pull off. The way he accelerated now is probably reaching the end of his stint, and you can see him accelerating now again. He's hanging in there now. I think he's gonna go off at the 200-meter mark, doing his very best to take them through.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a battle of smarts as you predicted. He turns off, but looks like Blocky Smith has also pulled out of this race.
No, I think he's in second place. Goodness me, has he gone off?
He's gone off at the back there. Hopefully he's okay. Seemed to be struggling a little bit with his ankle.
Yeah, maybe he clipped it on the corner and made him a bit uncomfortable, but I saw the pace drop off by a second or two. And maybe if he wasn't feeling it this evening, he might think, well, hold on, if I've got a little bit of a sore ankle and I'm not feeling it this evening, let me just ease off and live to fight another day. So let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, as us as coaches and managers always say, we will always have another event. So just protect your body as much as possible. See Darren Bounds there. Looks like he's actually brought his own handkerchief along to keep his nose clean. So.
Yes, he always runs with a lovely chap, always runs with his handkerchief in his pocket. And I watched him come past. He was keeping up with the first bunt and clearly went out too fast. And I hope he hears me say this, because I've known him for years now. A very likable guy and trying very hard. But you've got to get the pacing right.
Yeah, it's always nice to see someone have a hanky instead of launching an
attack.
Yeah.
Okay, being lapped now. So we've got 6 laps to go. that time is 7 minutes and 10 seconds. So they've got exactly 6 laps to go. That's 6 times 4, 2.4 kilometers. So when they come past now, they'll have 3 kilometers under the belt when they come past the belt again.
Yeah, just to give the viewers at home a little bit of perspective. That lead, the guys who are leading out now, they're going at a incredible pace. So if you want to see if you can match that, just go out to your local park run this weekend and see if you can hang on at 2 minutes 48 a kilometer. Just do it for 100 meters. Just start off at the chaos and see how long it goes.
And then to throw a spanner in the works, that's just 2 seconds off Eliud Kipchoge's pace for a 2-hour marathon. He runs at 2:50, which is just too scary to believe. So you can imagine him coming past you now. He'll be with them and ahead of them, and he'll be running 42 k's. It's just unbelievable that an athlete can be that good.
So, goes.
So 2 laps to go, and you'll remember Brewston ran the 3,000 meters on Monday evening in around 8:02, 8:03, if memory serves me correct, and now he's just gone through 3 kilometers in around about 8:24, but now he's got 2 kilometers still to go, but looking strong.
John David saying run with pace in COG, and I think I've just worked out he's talking about Bruce Lynn. Bruce Lynn was referred by many as a child of God, so thanks for the support there, John. And Bruce is out on his own there, but the pace is still on fire.
Well, I must say, he ran an extremely hard 3,000 meters on Monday evening, so he must be feeling a little bit of Monday in his legs. If he didn't, that meant he probably didn't go flat out, but the fact that Timmy was going for under 8 minutes, I'm sure he did give it everything. So this will make him strong. Let's hope he rests the rest of the week, because a really fast 3,000 meters and within 48 hours, a tough 5,000 meters. Let's hope he gets a lot of rest for the rest of the week, so he can avoid injuries and come back stronger.
I've watched quite a few runners at events, and when you look at the 5,000, that's generally when we see runners who are just absolutely giving it all. 21k and the 42k runners and even the ultra runners, they always seem to find enough fuel in the tank to go out for snacks and lunch and everything afterwards.
Oh, goodness me. Nothing like celebrating and hydrating.
Yeah, that's why between our little group of friends we like to call this the 5k is the true ultra distance, because this is where you just leave everything out and just look at the strides that we are seeing out this evening. It's crazy.
Well, with 3 laps to go, he went through in around about 10 minutes 30. So 3 laps is 1,200 meters. So I think the chances of sub 14 have gone, and probably looking at around about 14:10, somewhere between 14:10 and 14:15, which is still a respectable time and a great runner. If you think, what can a runner that runs 14 minutes do? Typically they will run about 29:30 for a 10 kilometers. For a half marathon they'd run around 64 minutes, and for a marathon they would probably run about 2 hours 16. So with Eliud Kipchoge running 2 hours for a marathon, at this pace, you just see the difference in class. But everything's got to start somewhere, and athletes develop over years, and it's the trajectory that's important. Where he is now is where he is, but it's how he develops over the next couple of years, and he'll only get stronger. 2 laps to go.
Yes, for sure. And we look back and we see Jean Mouton, who went out with that lead pack, who I believe he could be in second place, and he's been lapped by Bruce Lynn. He still has 3 laps to go, but being in second place, being lapped, that just shows the pace that Bruce Lynn is going out with this evening.
100%. It's I mean, I really thought with the 3 paces or 4 listed, that they would be able to go a little bit further, because they're all very capable runners. But I do think that Monday's event might be in some of the legs still, and they also want to be careful. You don't want to end up with an injury, pacing somebody if you've had a hard race 2 days ago. And Anel's looking really good. She's picked up the pace. Is she ahead of Sibs? Is that Sibs?
I believe that is Sibs just in behind her, and Darren Bounds a few meters back. Yeah, now
Well,
another one of those who can just hang out there at that pace for forever. And as we see Bruston coming in for his final lap, 12:50 on the board.
Let me tell you, I might have got this wrong.
Yeah, he's just suddenly picked up the pace again.
Has he
so
got one lap? Is that it?
he's got one lap left and he's going at it at maximum.
Well, this is interesting. I thought a time of around about 14:10, but he's picking it up, and my goodness, this might even get close to 14 minutes. Somewhere along the line, I think I got it wrong.
Yeah,
I'd love to be proved wrong.
He's got just under 200 meters, just over 200 meters left, and 13:24 so far. So
He only needs a 35 seconds to go under 14 minutes. This could be under 14 minutes. Goodness me, this is a turn up for the books. I think we got confused. Well, I certainly did, with the paces dropping off and Blocky moving out. But he's run a very, very, very smart race.
yeah, he's going out with maximum pace.
This
and
is
look
going to
at
be
him
sub
go.
14.
13:50, 13:51, 52, 53. Goes and gets a
That
13:56.
is absolute. Look at the delight on his face. Goodness me, I apologize, listeners and viewers. I thought they had missed the boat and were heading towards 14:10, but goodness me, he picked up the last kilometer. That is a sensational run. That's going to give him a lot of confidence.
My goodness, 13:56 on a Wednesday night in Cape Town, on the 19th of January. It's beginning
Well
of
done.
the year. The season has not
That
even
is a
begun.
beautiful, beautiful run. I wonder if somebody can look up the World Athletics points for us. Maybe somebody at home can look that up for us and tell us what that translates to, because Ryan's points is 1,127. And I wonder how close that's going to get.
And that performance is something else. That's definitely something to write home about. And I believe second place has just come in. Everyone's coming in under 15 minutes.
Sibs 15:02, and the Sibs is a guy that's run 29:20. So he's put two back-to-back 5Ks. So obviously he's finding his way back into the sport at the moment. And Anel with one lap to go, going through in 15:20. So Anel might end up going around about 16:30, under 17 minutes. That'll be a great run.
Yeah, she's looking like she's just started to pick up the pace there in the back straight, so she's looking to push on that time. And look at the junior Robert Davidson, Grimace there, also just putting on the maximum.
Well, Anel's trying really hard down the back straight now. With the cameras focused on her, she's got 200 meters to go, and the time is just gone, just under 16 minutes. So she's got, with 200 meters to go, I think this is going to be closer to 16:30, 16:40. Will be a lovely evening. Goodness me, this has been a great run by her all on her own. I know she's had somebody help her there, but this is going to be a great run.
It's a fantastic run. So another junior coming, 16:21 for Robert Davidson, and looks like it's going to be a battle here between Darren Bounds and Anel Blanche. Darren just deciding he's just going to skip past very quietly with a smile, and Anel coming 16:32.
That's a lovely time. Look how happy she is. Goodness me, I think the weather conditions are just perfect. Almost no wind, and it's really cool, and you can see how happy she is. Well done. That'll give her tremendous encouragement for the rest of the year. That's going to mean so much for her when it comes to the 10 kilometers as well, because that time's going to translate into something really fast. 16:30 will give you 33 minutes if you can complete back to back, which she probably won't do, but she's going to get close to 34:30 with that kind of speed over 5 kilometers. That was a great run.
Yeah, no, that is a performance as a POS Swapo versus as champion of God. Referring to Bruce Lynn Damons, that performance has been something for the books. I'm just going to go out into the ether and just check Anel de Blanche's profile.
Yeah, I think that's a personal best.
Yeah, she currently has on World Athletics, she has a 17:32
Goodness me.
labeled as a personal best and 36:35 for the 10K. So
Well, there's no doubt she's going to be running sub 36 and probably sub 35. I really hope there hasn't been a mistake with the lap counting. I don't think there has been, but that was a wonderful performance, really, to take off. So what is her personal best? 17:32.
17:32.
It's around 16:32. Well, that is fantastic. Well, Randall, I must say, reflecting on that race now, I thought at one stage they had lost the pacing a little bit, but goodness me, they picked it up the last kilometer, and his last 200 meters was really strong. So, and if he can run sub 14 minutes or 5K at this time of the year, I imagine what he's going to do in April when we have the South African Champs. Fantastic.
And that was in Kutsenberg back in 2019.
Goodness me, that was the last EnduroCAD events before COVID.
As we say, the 1500 ladies gets off, and they are out and away. Because we have Minka Viljoen, who was the pacer on the 800. Oh, excuse me, she was one of the competitors in the 800, leading out there with Yandiswa Shange, just holding out and staying as close as possible. Apologies, I believe Minka is actually pacing this evening.
Well, that'll be great for the other runners. We had a time last week by Karina of 4 minutes 20, and that gave her a point score of 1046. So that increased her points performance from the previous event, but now put her in 4th place after those fantastic times that Ryan and Anthony and Brewston ran. So that's a very sensible pace, gone through in 54 seconds, the first 300 meters. So it looks like somebody's really been well briefed from a pacing point of view.
And it looks like Rebecca Flack, who may be in 2nd and 3rd, or looks like she just changed out to 3rd now. Some of the viewers may remember Shanique Sass from the EnduroCAD event. She's sitting in 2nd right now. She's one of those athletes out from Matthias Droste.
Yes, a really competent coach out there who's looking after a number of athletes. I just forget his name. Did you remember his name? He's an accountant in Worcester, and he's got a grass track there. Goodness me, I every now and then I chat to him on Facebook. A lovely guy that's really passionate about the sport. He's got a lovely group of athletes going there from all the schools in Worcester. That'll come back to me. But they went through in 72:73, which is the pace for 4 minutes 30. Yes, Norman Anton. Correct. Thanks for that. I hope you're watching, Norman. Probably in the stadium. Well done. Keep up the great work. And these were Shangi now going up with 2 laps to go. And the pace was around about 4 minutes 30, just a little bit off that. But she's picked it up a little bit now with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and this one is currently in the top 10. I think she's sitting 9th right now. And she had a fantastic performance on Wednesday evening, finishing 2nd, I believe, but not slowing down here.
Yes, and this one has come through Ilana Meyer EnduroCAD system in Stellenbosch, and she just finished last year. Is now working and coached by Coach Ernie Groen out in Stellenbosch, and she certainly looks full of running this evening. Has now opened up quite a sizable gap. So I imagine if she can keep this up, she's going to run close to 4 minutes 30 this evening, which will be a lovely start. But I think she's got a personal best of 4:25, if memory serves me correct. So she's definitely picked up her efforts this year.
That's fantastic. And we still have members talking about the last race. Ingrid Alexander saying that was incredible running. Definitely, Ingrid. John Davids was saying, well done, child of God again. And Van Kukamu, thank you so much for being one of our spies out in the distance, saying 1356 equals 1,012 points.
Goodness me, that's going to take him up to 5th place. That's just ahead of Kyler Jacobs then.
Yeah, compared to the previous event, yes, that will put him in 5th, so he'll be splitting Karina and Kyla.
Yeah, excellent run. Just shows you how well Ryan did, to earn 1,127 points. So with 200 meters to go now, the time 4 minutes. So the 4:30 is now no longer possible. It's probably going to be around about 4:40, between 4:36 and 4:40. Let's hope she can accelerate over the last 120 meters.
She's putting maximum effort in here. And he's one of the friendliest people you will meet at the track or at any running event. And
lovely lady. She went with us to Port Elizabeth last year to the Spa 10K race and ran really well. And look at her come through now. 4:36, 4:37, 4:38.
4:38.37. Wow.
Well done, Yandiswa. I think she'll get back to her best very soon and be running under 4:30 by the time we get to the SA Champs here in Greenpoint.
Well done, Rebecca Flack in 2nd place and Shanique Sass coming in 3rd. Fantastic performances yet again by the juniors. We still have a few more coming through. Well done, VOB, and look at this change of pace here. Another fantastic event. This 1500, it looks like the 1500 is just the event of the evening, as close as we can get to a mile. Not as abusive as the 800, it seems. We've not had anyone falling over and passing out after their races, but the efforts are still there.
Well, just looking at Stitel, lovely shot of Yandiswa there. A lovely young lady, as you mentioned before, with a lovely smile, a lovely sense of humor, and always polite. But she's a fighter on the track. But Randall, when it comes to racing on the track, I mentioned on Monday that the 800 meters is the only middle distance event where you run a positive split. In other words, you come through a little bit faster and you end up running slightly slower the second lap. That's traditionally, if you have a look at all the races, that's how that normally gets handled. So when you get to the 1500 meters and above, anything further than the 800 meter, you've got to swap it around and actually run a negative split. So they went through in 72 seconds but ended up running 74.75. So they probably, if they had slowed it down and went through in 73.74, they probably would have picked it up towards the end and actually run 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 seconds faster. But that will come with experience, because you need to work out where you are. But physiologically and statistically, that's just how it works. So I hope the athletes that listen to this will look into it. At least, if you don't believe me, look into it and look at the statistics. But that's, I think, some of the best advice you can get. So chat to your coach about it and understand it, research it, because it's all about not where you finish the first 100 meters, it's when what your time is at the end.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's where that strategic prowess and the planning comes in. We see it particularly at the Olympic events, where the gold is more important than the time, it seems, in some of the events.
Well, yes, I mean, championship events are a different kettle of fish altogether, and you'll find that when it comes to the track and field, the international events that are held in Stockholm and in Oslo, in Lille, in Birmingham, in Paris, in Monte Carlo, and normally the final each year is at the Eva Madama Memorial event that's run by a friend of mine from the old Octagon days. That's normally the final, and then those races are normally much faster than the championship events, because the championship events are always run tactically. And if you're a 1500 meter runner, you've got to come through the heats, the semis, so you've got to run 3 1500 meters before you get to the final. So it tends to be tactical when you get to the final. But when you have the Diamond League events, a lot of money up at stake for records, meeting records, area records, world records, and then the meeting organizers do put together really good pacing for the runners to try and help them achieve better times. And you would have seen at some of the events now, a chap called Josh Hermans, who is the manager of the NN running team internationally and the owner of that of a company called Global Communications. They invented the lighting system. Have you seen that, Randall, where they run and then the lights actually shine on the inside of the track? So they've developed that pacing system now to help the athletes, because the paces, let's say in the 5,000 meters like we saw this evening, took them to maybe 2 kilometers. But when Joshua Cheptegei out of Uganda and Richard Chalima out of Uganda, their coach, a lovely chap as well, they use the lighting on the track to show them whether they're ahead, on pace or behind pace, to help them distribute their efforts as equally as possible. And that's the way it's got to go. And these events, I can see they're trying to achieve that with the pacing. And Francois Fransburg, being a sub 4 minute miler, certainly knows what he's doing as well. So the first race of 3.
Yeah, that sub 4 minute mile is the dream mile, as they say, and it's something you hope to have as an athlete.
Yes, and nowadays they talk about a super mile, which is sub 3 minutes 50, and there's in relative terms only a handful of people that can do that, and that's lightning fast. Nowadays they're running the 3,000 meters in 7 minutes 30, which is the equivalent of a sub 4 minute mile for double the distance. So as the years have gone by, nutrition has improved, training methods has improved, recovery methods has improved, and these athletes here are all dreaming of a future in athletics. And what a wonderful way to get the season going with this series.
Yeah, it looks like the leaders are going out, and this race seems to be a lot calmer in terms of the pace out in front. We have a bus of about 7 runners out in front, with Christopher Steyn leading right now.
Fantastic.
And Anissa Chirombe out in second place, hanging in there.
Well, you know, Randall, for so many of these youngsters, they probably came through on Monday evening as well, and you know, school has just started, so they've got the normal inter-house events, and then inter-schools events, and then you have the leagues and the various provincial championships. So to get an early start to the season, to work out where you are amongst, you know, good competition is really motivating, because they've got another 2 months or 3 months to the provincial championships. So this will help the coaches and the athletes stay motivated, and help them with their planning for the rest of the season.
Yeah, school just starting, that actually puts into perspective all the little kiddies photos that I saw all day long on Facebook.
Yes, and lots of crying moms and dads with grade R and grade 1 kids going to school, some kids wanting to go, some not wanting to go. So when they come past, they'll have 1 lap to go.
Yeah, it looks like Anisu Chirombe is looking to find another gear here and try and leave Christopher Steyn behind. But as we look back there, we see one of the VOB athletes coming through. We will confirm who that is in a moment. That's Esti Schmidt sitting in 4th right now. So that would be Inam Mbatsa. I was having a discussion with one of our club members earlier this afternoon about the representation that we're seeing here from junior athletes, junior club athletes. That's truly fantastic to see.
Yes, one cannot, well, with 1 lap to go, 3:05, 3:06, 3:07, so probably going to end up around about 4 minutes 10, which is, from a junior point of view, we're not exactly sure how old each of these runners are, but everybody doing their best this evening. So, but you're quite right, Randall. You know, the sport is all about exposure, because all you want to try and do at high school is give an athlete a taste of what it's like. And then they can decide for themselves what they want to achieve. And I've said it on a number of occasions, you're only going to be at your best from 25 onwards to 35. So the trick is to try and keep the athlete in the sport and then develop later, which is exactly how an athlete like Dominic Scott Edford has done it, which should be the example for all the juniors out here in terms of progression over time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And apologies to the viewers at home. I may have gotten a name confused here, a little bit backwards in terms of the finish. But as we see there, Niso taking first place with Inam in second from VOB, and in third place, I believe that's MJ Hurling. Apologies, MJ, I got your name wrong a moment ago. Great performance there by the big man.
And that was a winning time of 4 minutes 14. So, as I said on a number of occasions, everybody go away more experienced and be able to plan better with their coaches. And what a lovely outing so early in the year.
Oh no, for sure. Here comes Mr. Schmidt, finishing in 4:55. Well done. Also, what's crazy to look at when we look at the build of these athletes as juniors, we have some of these athletes looking like sprinters, some looking like rugby players, and others looking like the fastest little guys you'll ever see.
Well, you know, the challenging thing is that when you speak to Johan Prix, one of our greatest milers of all time, you know, he'll tell you that at high school he didn't win many races, which you would think, but how's that even possible? But the reality is he started nice and late and then built his career from there. So you'll find that an athlete that's maybe 17 years old that plays first team rugby, is a wing or a center, it's probably developed a lot earlier than his other friends in the class that maybe don't look like athletes now, and then they tend to do extremely well as under 17s and under 19s, but very few of them actually make it all the way. You'll find that the boys and girls that sort of in second, third, and not training too hard at school tend to make it in the sport and stay in the sport a lot longer. That's not to say it's the rule, but it certainly is a tendency and a trend in athletics.
For sure. I believe we have two more events, race 10 and race 11.
Is that it? Are we done?
I believe that'll be us. Two more 1500s and we'll be done for the evening.
Goodness me, I can't believe it. It's for me, the standout performance so far was the 5,000 meters. I didn't think he'd go under 14. I don't know how I got that wrong. I'm just so surprised and I'm so happy for him. He's just a lovely chap as well. And you said his personal best was 14:03 or something before that?
Yeah, I believe it was 14:03 before then. So
if you look at the statistics, and he came through in 13:58. Is that correct?
Yeah, we will have the results. I'll actually check the results right now.
That'll give him so much encouragement and so much inspiration to see out this track and field season. And you know, he's a cross country runner as well, and the more speed you got, the better you're going to do over any distance in the middle distances.
Yeah, cross country is definitely one of the breeding grounds of speed. Every record holder that we've seen in the last 10 years has started in cross country.
Well, exactly. Richard Chalimo and Joshua Cheptegei, absolute amazing runners. And then you think about Zola Budd, Ilana Meyer, all great cross country runners.
Yeah, funny enough, my father has a photo at home of Zola Budd because they're in the same squad, so you actually still see her sitting there barefoot in the SA cross country squad.
Fantastic.
From I believe it was from 1982.
Well, there's a very interesting article for those of you who are in school athletics that Zola Budd Petersen wrote. I think it's in the Top Runner online magazine, and she wrote about her philosophy about how school kids should be coached, and it probably makes the most sense that I've read in a long time, and her approach is spot on. So go and find it. It's very, very, very sound the way that that she approaches. So basically she's saying that get the athletes running, get them interested, don't push them, and then let them make decisions as to what they want out of the sport, as opposed to you telling them what they should be doing. But have a read. I mean, she's a world record holder, an experienced person, and I really think that she's learned over the years what should work or could work best for juniors. So if you're a mom or a dad, go have a look what Zola says in terms of how you should be managing high school kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. And apologies to the viewers on YouTube. I forgot about you, but we are back. Michael Peacock saying, baie mooi atletiek, dankie, well done. Darren Bounds, nice 5,000. Ingrid Alexander saying, let's go Angel Mans. Michael again saying, skitterende 5,000. Anel. Ingrid saying, go Joshua Adams. Nikita JVR, go Zander. So Zander van Rensburg will be in this race, the son of Franco van Rensburg. And Leilani Hacking saying, go VOB. Believe Leilani may be related to carrot hacking.
It's so interesting when you have a look at top runners and then their kids take up the sport, and you always sort of compare it to the parents, which is so unfair to the kids. but it seems to happen naturally, you know. So Johan Fourie and Miranda Fourier's kids, you know, they always just enjoyed athletics, but you know, the person sitting back in the armchair at home would say, but these, you know, they should be good athletes, but if that's not what they want to do, then that's not what they want to do. So you got to respect what they want to do as well.
And you know, genetically they do have they may have the opportunity to develop something else when the genes are strong. You see Thomas Strace leading out in Apio Swart by saying, go VOB. I believe that is Dylan Solomons in second place.
Well, they're not hanging around. I mean, they went out at 45 seconds, so they're probably going to hit the bell at about 60, 61, 62, which is 3:45 pace. So at this pace, if they can keep it up, and if they haven't gone out too fast, you might look at a time below 3:50 and closer to 3:45. Let's hope they haven't started too fast. They started out at 3:45 pace. Let's see where they finish up.
And third place, who I believe will be second place over there, is Aubrey Kotze from Eerste River. Go hometown.
Yeah, in your Eerste Rivier manne.
The guys are getting quick. We saw Tyron Gordon on Monday. We've also seen, I believe Aubrey was also running on Monday. We can confirm that again, but this small town has some quick athletes.
Okay, coming through now 1:45. So as they go through in 1:50, that's a few seconds off the starting pace. So for those of you who are watching, they went through the first lap in 60 seconds, and now it's dropped to around about 63, 64 seconds. So ideally you want to do that the other way around in order to run the best possible times over the 1500 meters. And you know, while we're chatting here and watching this race, we've got to have a huge shout out to all the coaches there. You know, you've got parents, school teachers, a lot of school teachers that are next to the fields, taking times, writing programs, driving kids around, picking them up at home, taking them back home. And that's where the sport is actually made, is those unsung heroes out there in the communities that are finding talent and nurturing them, almost like surrogate parents to a large extent.
Yeah, it looks like Dylan Solomon's pulling out there.
Oh, I see. So they had two paces for this young man. What is his name?
I believe that's Aubrey Kotze. Dylan wasn't listed as a pacer. It looks like he's handed over that one to Aubrey, and Aubrey's just decided he's going out now. Afterburners on, a visible change in pace, and we look at second and third. Looks like Zander van Rensburg looking to get second, currently in third place. We'll see what that VLB athlete is in a moment.
So I really hope that the coaches that are here this evening are watching, take the trouble after the race and look at your athletes' pacing and see if you can make small adjustments to improve, because as I said earlier, they went out at 3 minutes 45 pace over the first 400 meters, and it's now 3 minutes 45, so they're not going to dip 4 minutes, which is sad because I think all of these runners can dip 4 minutes if the pacing was a little bit sharper.
Never mind what's happening in front. Look at what's happening in second and third there.
So you go through 4-4, 4-3, yeah.
I believe that was Rwaldo Cornelius taking second place there. And Uzukanye Makonta out in third. But what a performance here by Aubrey Kotze.
Well, I can tell now, Randall, that guy can run 3:58, not with his eyes closed, but with a bit of pacing, he would definitely smash 4 minutes. So I hope somebody takes that advice and has a look at the pacing. There's a lot to be gained by running a negative split in the 1500 meters and not going out as fast as they did. But that's just my view. I might be wrong, but I'm just going to put it out there in any event.
Of course, as a coach, you are allowed to give it a little bit of coaching advice.
Well, I think, everybody is interested in running fast times, and Francois and Bruce have put this together, and they're absolutely passionate about the sport. So they're creating an opportunity to participate. Where the real growth comes from is the coaches. So the more the coaches know, and the more that they can learn, and the more that they can get themselves involved in how to approach these races, the more success they're going to have, which means they're going to have more runners come to them, and everything just goes from there. So the coaches, to me, are the key force behind the sport. And yes, of course, you need administrators, you do need events. Of course, I'm not in any way taking away from that, but all starts with some other mother or father or school teacher in the community that has a passion and has got these kids running. And what's the alternative? The alternative, you don't do sport, you sit at home and get up to mischief. So we've got to commend these coaches and hope they go from strength to strength.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're going to the final 1500, this final race of the evening. If we look at the start list, we have Duran Faro pacing again, Rwaldo Rats pacing, as well as Tommy Kian Tommy from Tigerberg. But I'm sure that everyone is here to see the Tembisa Tornado as he starts to warm up in that back corner, that dark corner of the track. We saw him absolutely storm the field on Monday, just finding pace from nowhere. I wonder if he'll be able to knock that time down again. Currently leading the series, so there's a happy 10,000 Rand check waiting. I believe the check may have gone up to 12,500 Rand.
Yes, I saw something like that, Randall. And what's interesting is that I don't think any of the previous performances has beaten that. What do you think?
In terms of points,
yes,
not a chance.
Not so far. So he's probably got it in the bag already. That maybe just takes a little bit of pressure off him. I'm sure anybody can do with 12,500 Rand, so I'm sure that was a motivator. But now it's about how would he go about this race. Now on Monday evening, with one lap to go, he came through and finished the last lap in 58 seconds. So I think he came through, goodness me, I'm just getting my calculations right now. But let's see how he goes about this evening. It's going to have to be about careful pacing, but he's probably worked it all out. And let's hope the pacers can set it up for him as best as possible.
I see Ingrid Alexander still in the mix here, supporting loud and proud in the comment section, saying Jason Kopa Nikhadjay. It's Jason Kopa from UWC. This is the second on this list that you will see live on screen now, ladies and gents. So we have lots of support out in the comment section today. Last race, so throw everything you have out there. We will shout out on your behalf.
Well, can we ask the kind people that are passing comments, what do you think? Will Ryan go under 3 minutes 40 again? Or was 3:38 the limit for him? I've got my view. What do the viewers say?
Yeah, I think we can put a cup of coffee on this one.
What do you think?
Well, I'm not a betting man, so I'm just gonna say.
Just give me your view. We don't have to take a bet.
Well, looking at the weather now, looks like we've a little change in the breeze now. We have 1 out of 6 flags going, so I think there is a chance for him to go a little bit quicker. I think the jet lag may have affected him. Jet lag from Joburg to here may have affected him a little bit for the last race. We see Apiwe Swapo saying let's go UWs, and Chiamano Makota saying Ryan, let's get it.
Well, look, as a coach, he, physiologically, I mean, he really hung it out on Monday evening. There was nothing held back. So it now begs the question, what happened on Tuesday and this morning? How much recovery could have taken place? Did he go for some active recovery work, whether that was a sports massage or easy jogging, or how did he go about recovering? Because there's no doubt a 3:38 will have an impact on the body. And can he be in shape this evening to run faster than that? I'd love him to, but I don't see him going under 3 minutes 40 this evening. Let's hope he proves me wrong. Who agrees, who disagrees, or am I just teasing the public?
I think I should put a cupcake on that one.
What do you think?
I'll bet the cupcake that he could go a little bit quicker.
Okay, so he ran 3:38. Was it 3:38.23? I just forget now. So yes, I really hope he can go faster. That would be just fantastic. But I mean, this is tough. I mean, Monday evening was not an easy race, and he would have come off such a high. Probably wouldn't have slept the whole of Monday evening, dreaming of his excellent run, knowing that there's a long way to go to get down to 3:31. But maybe this season, as I said, on Monday you can get down to 3:35, 3:36, which is really fantastic, and then end up run a couple of races overseas. I was chatting to Bruce, the sponsor of the event, yesterday, and Ryan's staying at his house, so they've chatted, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he can go faster. My estimate is that he'll struggle to go under 3:40 this evening, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, Matthew Rousseau saying without Faro to pace him, it'll be a slower race than Monday. During Faro is pacing this. Faith Mpolela saying go King Ryan. Innocent Maniakeni saying let's get it King Ryan. The Tembisa tornado.
Well, I really hope I'm proved wrong, because that would show an amazing resilience and amazing strength. I haven't coached athletes that can come back from a Monday all-out effort and do what he's doing. So if he does do it, I can tell you right now, he's got a great future ahead of him. There have been runners over the years, even Johan Fourie that ran 2 sub-4-minute miles in one evening, the great John Walker, that were extremely strong runners and somehow always just hung in there. So he went through in 58.59, which is exactly like he did on Monday. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, Kian Tommy, the pacer, just giving a little bit of space and going with the second group, and it's Duran Faro and the Tembisa tornado out in front right now.
Is that him still in second place now?
That's him
still in second place. So goodness me, I hope he proves me wrong.
And looking quite comfortable out there.
So he's going to hit 800 meters to go. Well, the pacing is fantastic, that's for sure, so that's helping a lot. 1 minute 41 as they go through. So now he's got to run 800 meters in under 2 minutes. So he's got to run 60 and 60, maybe accelerate to a 59 if he's going to go under 3 minutes 40 again. The pacer now going to drop off with 600 meters to go. The time now 2:10, 2:11. Still looking very positive. It's still looking like a sub 3:40 performance. Let's see what he's got in the legs with 550 meters to go. So it's all going to come down to the last lap. Let's hope he can come through in around about 2 minutes 40. If he can come through in under 2:40 and then dip 60 seconds for the last lap, we're going to see another sub 3:40. So we were looking for 2:40, 2:39, 2:40. Now it's all about the last lap. And can he go under 60 seconds again?
Yeah, lots of cheers coming here from Faith, Germano, James, Ingrid. That's the posture. Let's go get it.
This guy's going to prove me wrong. Goodness me, look at that acceleration down the back straight. That is just fantastic. Where is this running coming from? After Monday's performance, is he going to do it again? It looks like, come on Ryan, that's just fantastic.
It's that stride that just gets me. He just seems to find another gear, and he's not slowing down, just continually accelerating as he rounds the bend. 100 to go.
He's going to run sub 340 again. I cannot believe it. What an amazing performance. Can he better Monday evening's performance? If he can, I will be gobsmacked. It's going to be a 337.
5:36, 37.
Oh my goodness me. And I thought he wouldn't go under 340. My goodness, what do I know?
The Tembisa tornado strikes again. I get my cupcake. 337 on the board, and here comes Rowaldo Rats, I believe, in second.
Well, let me tell you, Randall, that was something special. You know, I honestly thought that after Monday's evening to recover and to come out this evening and to run faster, goodness me, this guy is strong.
Apologies to viewers, I believe that's Dion Hendricks who came through there in second place. Just as a guide of his performance, of King Ryan's performance, there was quite a bit of air between himself and second place. You know, we've even had our discussions for a little bit. Lots of support coming through again. Chimanos Makota saying, get it baby, that's the stride I want and need. Innocent Manikan is saying, let's get it Ryan. Let's go mate. Ingrid Alexander, incredible that pace.
Well, that's Frans van Rensburg with him now, and in the background we saw with the orange t-shirt Jan Fourie, who ran 332 for the 1500 meters, and it must be lovely for him to see somebody burning up the track. And I am very happy to eat humble pie. I'm very happy for you to buy whatever it is that we bet. I'm so, oh goodness me.
I think I'm just going to run downstairs and steal a muffin or a cupcake. So we're going over now to the prize giving. There won't be a big prize giving, but King Ryan is going over to accept his check, his winning check for his performance. Twice this week, Monday and this evening, just appears out of nowhere, takes a quick flight down, cracks off 2 sub 340s on the 1500.
That's phenomenal. Well, on the left we've got Bruce, the organizer and the sponsor. On the right we've got Frans van Rensburg, a sub-400 miler and the vice headmaster at Fairmont High School, handing over the check now to Ryan. And my goodness me, I was speaking to Bruce yesterday. He was saying hopefully Ryan can now get some races in some of the leagues in Belgium or in Europe where he doesn't have to run on his own and can be sucked along to even faster times. And at this rate, I think everything is possible. So fantastic, well done to this young man.
Yeah, 12,500 rand, that is as good as it gets for 2 days work, or let's say 7 minutes work.
Yeah, that was very special, and look how confident he appears. It's just lovely to see the smile. And so he's come away with, you know, his personal best before he came to this event was a 341. It wasn't a sub 340. Then he went sub 340, and now he's gone sub 340 for a second time with a time of 337. So this is going to be so encouraging for him, and I can just see, you know, that the organizer there is just so happy. Bruce Stewart, Brian's been living at his place, and they've been chatting about the future, and I'm sure, let's hope that a sponsor comes on board with footwear and with kit, because I think this guy's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I know for sure. Ladies and gents, it's been a pleasure. Coach Chris, this has been fun.
Thanks, Randall. Yeah, nice to be in the box with you. That was very entertaining, and I'm so glad this guy proved me wrong. That was really fantastic.
Yeah, I know for sure. And to the viewers at home, we will see you in a little while. The next event will be coming up in March or April, so don't go away. Have a good evening, have a good snack, and we will chat soon.
Mr. Bruce Stewart, what an evening, what a series, 3 of 3 and 2 fantastic performances by King Ryan, the Tembisa Tornado. What is your feeling after these 3 fantastic evenings?
Yeah, so look, I think we had a few objectives to get out of these 3 meetings, and one of them was to get some quality athletes in the field. 1, 2, make sure that we had a lot of the development athletes, giving them an opportunity to run. Let them mix it with the elite guys, and hopefully inspire a lot of them to come back and train hard, and hopefully, you know, repeat in their later years what Ryan did this evening. But ultimately it was just, I think, very much to give guys opportunities to run qualifiers and to run really quickly. And you know, we're super happy with the performances. The first 3 athletes that, in fact the first 4 on our leaderboard, all ran PBs for their events, which was absolutely incredible. Bruceland Damons ran 2 PBs. His 5,000 meter tonight was incredible. I think he had a 14:03 or 14:04 PB before, and I haven't seen the official results, but I think the clock stopped at around 13:52 thereabouts. So whichever way he slice and dice it, he'll be delighted with a 8 to 10 second PB. And then I think, you know, Ryan, this performance tonight was amazing. You know, he was up for it. I spoke to him during the day, and he was super relaxed. I think his coach has done an unbelievable job with him. He's got a wonderful relationship with his coach, Elvis. And the Tembisa guys are doing a lot of great stuff up there. And I think he's inspired. He wants to get to Oregon. And once again, I haven't got the final result, but the clock stopped at 3:37. But I think he may have just broken that 3:37 mark, which is amazing. So to improve on that 3:38 that he ran the other night, 3:38.46 to be exact, is just absolutely superb. So couldn't be happier, absolutely delighted, and what a way to close off the 3 event series.
No, for sure. And again, the weather's been absolutely perfect. So I think what we should actually do is just call the champ in. Maybe if you can just join us here, maybe just take center stage here for us. So, you know, you had lots of support out in the comments on YouTube. People were cheering. They were speaking about your pose, your form, your stride, the consistency of your performance. What's your secret?
Well, having fun. I always tell people, go out there and have fun, you know, enjoy yourself. When you relax, you can have fun. When you can have fun, you can do good.
No, that's perfect. So with what you've been doing now, this is the beginning of the year. What will be your next big plan? What's your next big target for the rest of the year?
Well, my target is just keep on doing what I'm doing. Consistency is very key for me, you know, and what I do in training sessions, I'm going to keep on doing. What I do in racing, I'm going to keep on doing. I ain't going to change my style. I'm going to do what I do best, you know. And most importantly, like I said, let's have fun.
That's fantastic. Any specific messages or something you want to shout out to the viewers at home and supporters and family?
All I can say is thank you very guys for your support, guys. I really appreciate it, you know. And I know you guys are always watching. You're like my third eye, you know. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and keep on doing so. You know, the hashtag is King Ryan, aka Mr. Wolf, aka Mr. Bring the Money Home. So yeah.
Well, 12:05 for, let's call it 7 minutes work is not bad, eh? Not bad. You know, with this event, I think we've seen so many fantastic performances. We've seen so many juniors. I mean, what do you think will be the secret for the juniors, or where you want to take it to that next level?
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. I'm a bit worried that the juniors, you know, I feel like the talent is slowly slacking, you know, and they need to be inspired. And that's why I think I got a point to prove, especially to myself, you know, just show them. If I can do it, they can do it, you know. And I also watched Precious Machele last year, you know, what he did was amazing. That was inspiring for some of us, you know, and that's where you want to take it to the whole stage, you know, and yeah.
For sure. So where can we follow you on social media, on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, Ryan_Mpatlele, hashtag King Ryan, that's where you'll find me. You know, on Twitter and Facebook, yeah, that's what's up.
Thanks a lot for that, Ryan, and I'm sure you'll have a lot more followers and many more people being inspired by your performances. So I think the biggest thanks also has to go out to Gallo Images. Thanks for providing the images. And everyone who's been involved, the volunteers who are still out here in the dark. It's nearly 10 p.m. And I think with that we can wrap up this evening. Any final words from you, Mr. Stewart?
Yeah, Just thanks to everyone that put this together and helped on it. We're delighted to be involved as a company, and hopefully we can go from strength to strength. Look out for us. I think April, May, we will probably be holding 2 events, whether at Greenpoint or another stadium, we don't know, but we'll announce that in due course. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Thanks so much. And thanks to everyone at home. I think that's where we'll wrap it up now. Day 3 of 3. Have a good evening and we'll chat to you soon.
Okay, dudes.